Another busy morning at the trials for this week's Track Work show ahead of Rosehill, where we see the Silver Slipper, the Millie Fox and the Hobartville Stakes headlining another big card of racing. We have a bit of fun and of course have all the latest from Connections ahead of racing here at Rosehill this weekend. Well, Nath, you'd have to be happy with that trial from Private Harry. It was impressive.
Yeah, it's very good. Happy the way he sort of pulled up, and Ash said he's very clean action-wise, and just the way he fires out of the machines, he just grabs the bridle, he jumps and puts himself there, takes half the battle out of it, and I was very pleased with the way he went. We just wanted to let him roll along. We didn't want to choke him down too much. We're going to sort of go first up the Galaxy, so he'll trial again in a couple of weeks' time and be first up, but very happy the way he's pulled up in the wind. His recovery is good, so we're spot on target.
So what's he done since he won the Sunlight up there on the Gold Coast?
He had 2 weeks off just to let him clear his head and have a bit of a chill, but he's sort of come back in. He put on a little bit of condition. We had to sort of strip it back off him, but you don't need to give them colts too long. He loves stable life. He's very happy, content, and he looks immaculate in the coat, so everything's spot on with him. When
was the writing on the wall with him that you knew you had a really progressive colt on your hands?
We always knew he had a handy colt. We thought we were a good thing in a maiden at Newcastle, but until you really step him up and continue to raise the bar, you don't really know, and probably coming out of that Sunlight, that's when we knew we had the real deal, and he continues to sort of progress, and I think his work's even better back this preparation, so it's all positive signs with him.
One last question for you. Your 2-year-olds, I know you've got a few handy ones coming through. Are there any that we should be looking out for, or how's it all going back at the stables?
Yeah, we've got a lot of nice 2-year-olds. We're sort of going through that building phase. Probably the next 18 months, 2 years is when the nicer ones will start to come through, where we splurge out a little bit at the sales, not over the top, but there's a few nice ones. There's a Hellbent Sugar Hill colt. He's a nice horse. Hidden Motive. He come back. He just went a little bit shin sore last prep. So they're all positive signs for the stable of the future.
Gerald, another busy week ahead, but let's touch on Skyhook, who we saw on debut on the weekend and was very impressive. What did you make of him?
Yeah, no, he went good. No, he only had one jump out, one barrier trial. It's hard to win first up off that, but he was good, dwelt a bit at the start, but he was strong through the line. He was good. I was happy with him, yeah.
So all going well, he comes through the run on Saturday. What's plans next?
He either go to the Skyline or the Black Opal, or at this stage I'm favouring the Skyline.
And then we look ahead to this week. Let's touch on Pearl de Chocolat, who we saw at the very first 2-year-old trials. Then she ran in a gym crack, and I just thought she was such a lovely physical. We saw her resume as well. What do you make of her?
She's a nice filly. She's got very much stronger. Trial well here the other week. She was in tomorrow but drew wide, so she'll go Friday to the Black Opal preview. And if she happens to win or run second, she'll probably go to the Black Opal.
So she's had just the one trial and the jump out as well, but she went first up into a gym crack off the one trial. What's she like coming to hand?
She's coming to hand really good, spelled well, got stronger and come back a nice filly.
King of Pop, your colt by Farnan, who was another one we've seen on a couple of occasions, yet to see him at the races. We'll see him debut tomorrow?
Yeah, he'll go around tomorrow. He's also got a lot of time for. Drew well. It's quite a strong maiden tomorrow, actually. Maiden tier, it's a very good race, but anyhow, there's nowhere to hide this time of the year, so he'll go tomorrow and then we'll play it by ear after that and see how he goes.
And then your last runner I'll touch on is your colt by Justify, Just Party, who we've seen resume there in the Eskimo Prince. Will he take his place this weekend?
Yeah, he'll run on Saturday. There's not much else to go with him. He was fresh and keen and raced a bit upside down at first up in the at Randwick, so we've taken the blinkers off him this week and go back to riding him quiet and see if we can find the line. But once again, that's a very good race too.
Will, thanks for taking some time out of your very busy morning here at the trials. You've got a lot going around. Let's touch on your couple in the Provincial Midway Champs qualifier there on Thursday at Newcastle. Magneteer we'll start with. It's been a remarkable story really, and everything that's happened. It's sort of bittersweet, I would imagine, but he's been in fine form since joining the stable.
Yeah, absolutely. He has been in really good form. We didn't do a lot. We came in pretty good order, but he's maintained his form. This probably wasn't necessarily the target when he first arrived, but he's sort of put himself in calculations just with the form that he's shown. Look, it's an interesting race, that Provincial Midway Championships qualifier, because there's quite a few horses coming back first up. He's obviously been running over a mile and is dropping back in distance, so he has a bit of a fitness edge, and he'll go make his own luck on speed and hopefully be too good.
And you got Art Volant as well, who raced a couple of weeks ago there at Canterbury and was fourth behind Scintilla.
Yeah, she's actually running well. She probably wasn't best suited at Canterbury. It's not really a track for her. She's a big filly that likes balancing up and going through her gears, why she did better at Newcastle. I think she'll run a good race. There'll obviously be enough speed on with Magneteer sort of dictating that, which will bring her in. She'll probably come from back in the field, but she's she could surprise a few there. I think her form's a little bit better than it reads.
Electrica resumes in the Millie Fox, and the last time we saw her, she was a winner on the Sunny Coast, the Sunny Coast Cup. How has she been since that?
Yeah, really well, really well. This is actually a bit of a prep run. We're trying to target her for the Breeders' Stakes over in New Zealand. But I think she's capable of running a really big race. We've sort of probably unlocked the trick to her, which is riding her quietly. She'll do that again on Saturday, and look, if it's an on-speed bias at Rose Hill, which it can be at times, then she'll struggle a little bit. But it's not really a target race, so to speak. We're sort of just giving her a run so she's up to the mark before she leaves the following Sunday.
We also have Coastwatch in on Saturday. He's had a tick-over trial since he won that stakes race, beating Charlton Lane down in Victoria. How's he been?
Yeah, he's been good. He'll run on Saturday. He'll carry a decent weight. We've got the Zach Waddick to claim, so he'll appreciate that little bit of weight relief. But again, he's one where sort of the next start's probably his grand final for the prep. He'll go to the Newcastle Stakes on that Friday meet. So that looks like a nice race for him. And if he wins one of these two, then you probably put him away and you can start dreaming about trying to get to the Stradbroke.
Start dreaming of a win for Piraeus as well, who's been well overdue for one, the way that he's been running all preparation. You've got him nommed for a few different races throughout the week. Are you leaning towards, I think you said Canberra Friday?
Yeah, you'd be sleeping a while if you were dreaming about it. But he's going well. He'll find his right race. I think he does want to step up in trip, even though it reads he probably doesn't stay it out. But he every time we step him up in trip, we get wet tracks, and he doesn't like them. So he shouldn't be too far away.
Björn, let's start with Point and Shoot this weekend. So you're thinking either Melbourne or the Hobartville, but leaning towards Melbourne?
Yeah, I think he's going to go down for the Australian Guineas on the 1st of March. So he did gallop left-handed this morning, went really well. He's been very good his last two, and I think the mile suits. So you've got to be in to win. It's going to be a tough race, but he is going well.
He's such a progressive horse too. Then we look back to Sydney again, our Anchorage in the Parramatta Cup. He's just been a marvel this prep, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. He's done a remarkable job. He's been dominant in his first three and last three starts. First three starts this preparation, and another big step up into the Parramatta Cup. But he is going well. He looks great, and he's fit.
Which way are you leaning with Highlights last start winner? Great ride from Winnie as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure what we're going to do yet. He's in both the James Rees handicap. I've got Waddy goes in that race too. I think he'll run really well. And he's also in the Parramatta Cup. So it's a little bit of a tricky one and quite a difference in trip. But I'm just going to have a think about it today.
She's an A-lister, found the right race last start as well. Will she go around this weekend?
Yeah, she will indeed, and I think it's another good race for her. It's worked out really well. She looks good. Her work this morning was good, and she was dominant last time. She really brought that good form that she had in the Missile Stakes in the spring first up. I think 1100's ideal.
Your 2-year-old Namaste by Savabeel, he was one of my top picks from the early 2-year-old trials as a physical. He was just such a standout, and I know you loved him when you bought him from the Karaka sale as well. Things didn't quite go to plan Canterbury when he was eyeballed. How's he come on since then?
Yeah, he looks great, and I think he's going to be a good chance on Friday night. Josh Parr rides him. He might need a little bit of luck from the gates, but I think he's due it, and hopefully he can get underway.
Is it all just coming up early for him? Like physically he looks like he'll only improve with time, but he seems to be there as a 2-year-old.
Yeah, he's here, and we've just kept him ticking along, and depending what happens on Friday night, I wouldn't necessarily rule out continuing on and maybe looking at some of these staying 2-year-old races.
All right, Zach, I want to ask you about a couple. The first, you've talked about Lady Shenandoah, but wow, she must have given you a good feel on Saturday.
Yeah, she's just a pleasure to ride. Whenever I can get on her back, I'll be more than happy to. She's a very good filly, and I'm sure she'll prove herself, even if she's not proven already, but this prep there's still many more big races for her.
All right, speaking of good fillies, Belle Mercy, who you got to have a trial on there. I can see people behind you heckling you, by the way, and that's Will Friedman. I'm gonna throw him under the bus for that. Belle Mercy, who you got to sit on in a trial there at Kembla Grange, and she was straight down the middle.
Yeah, she gave me a fantastic feel. She's just a professional 2-year-old, very sharp, she'll put herself on the speed. I galloped her this morning and she went fantastic. So no, very happy with her, and she'll run a good race.
That's of course in the Silver Slipper, and then Broadsiding we'll touch on as well, who you're aboard on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm very excited to get on his back. I rode him every day as a 2-year-old. He was a pain to ride. So obviously he's come on so much. He's established himself as one of the best horses in the country, and I'll be very excited to ride him in the Hobartville Stakes on Saturday.
Tim, you just wanted to touch on a couple of your rides this weekend. One of those is North England, who you had a sit on this morning. How did he feel?
Yeah, he's going really well. He's had 2 trials. He's trialled up well. Obviously, he's a winner at the Golden Gift on this course and distance that he faces Saturday. So, looking forward to getting him back to the races. Obviously, his grand final still a little while away, but I feel that he's trialled up particularly well and ready to go for Saturday, and he'll make his presence felt.
He's been pretty bullish about his chances, saying that's your Golden Slipper winner. Does he give you that feel?
Yeah, well, he's definitely put his hand up as probably being one of the top seeds from the stable, and he's probably doesn't quite have the he's got the runs on the board, I guess. Like he ran very well on a Breeders' Plate, won a Golden Gift. He's done nothing wrong, and obviously he meets a few Wotan on the weekend and West of Swindon, so Bell Mercy. So it's a good field, but couldn't be happy with how he's going. As I said, he's pretty straightforward horse, uncomplicated, and he'll give a good account for himself.
You're aboard Palmetto as well, who you had a sit on too for his final piece of fast work. What was he like this morning? Yeah,
he's in good shape. I thought he ran terrific the other day. He had a big weight and sort of chased the hot speed, and the two lighter weighted horses just got the better of him late. But he drops a lot in weight, and if you can draw a softer gate, stepping at 1900, he's just sort of cuddle him away and produce him for a turn of foot late. I think he can run him to the finish for sure.
Well, Lee, we talk about having a good strike rate, and that's exactly how your stable is at the moment. Yourself and Cherie have been absolutely flying. I just want to touch on as well your trialer just then, the unraced Magenta Shores, a daughter of the Autumn Sun. Impressive trial.
Yeah, she's a really nice filly. We've given her plenty of time. Told Jeff to just ride it quiet and just let her get to the line. She'll have another trial, but she had trials in last time, and she's clearly going better now. She just wasn't quite ready then, but I think she's ready now.
Some of your stable stars, we saw Bohinia on the Gold Coast and Modella more recently as well. They've both had a break and are out. Modella's just come back in.
Yeah, Modella, we just popped her out for 2 weeks. She won in January, so we wanted to try and turn her into a carnival filly. We just put her out for 2 weeks. She's back. She'll trial in about 4, and the race was set up for was the James Carr Stakes, 7 furlongs. She may run before that. She probably will run in a 6 furlong race just to warm up. And we'll try and get in that.
A couple of horses that were standouts more recently, that's Baccio Del Mist and L'Esprit Dealer. So Baccio Del Mist, of course, at Canterbury behind O'Ziggy. You're thinking maybe a Sydney Cup path with both of them?
Well, yeah, I think Baccio Del Mist should have won the other night for sure. I think that jockey just made I love the jockeys, by the way, too, but she just made a tactical error early in the race, didn't get to the outside, and just cost her, obviously she got beat. Cigarette paper. So, I said to the guys, she's going better than she ever has. She's a reliable mare, and they just get better. And yes, she's a 7-year-old mare. And what we've seen this year from the 7-year-old mares, Pride of Jenny and Bella Nipotina. I'm not putting her in that class, by the way, but she's going super. And we took her to the Gold Coast, and she had no luck up there. Even Kieran rode her, and he said I should have finished 3 lengths closer. I just couldn't get a crack at them. So she's going good. She's on a path to the Sydney Cup, but, it's penciled in, put it that way. We'll see how we go. She'll run next week, 2100 again, a week after, I think. You can just aim for them, you know what I mean? The same with L'Esprit Dealer. She's out of L'Esquetti Spirit, and she's like Mum. And what did I say the other day? They're aerobic Olympians. They're just incredible. Even this morning I was watching her working over 6 furlongs, and where most horses pull up, she goes an extra 2.5 furlongs. They're just pure stays. She's going 1.5 miles next week in town here, and she's got to really step up in that. And she's so lightly raced too. She's been given plenty of time, but she's on a path there too. But we'll see how we go.
She's obviously a mare that would mean a lot to your stable with Lesquetti Spirit as well and that ownership group. I remember seeing her, and as you said, lightly raced not too long ago, and you had her earmarked as a mare that would only improve with time too.
Oh, for sure. I mean, look, as a 3-year-old, she was so immature. And I said to the guys, the ownership group, I said, look, just think of her as a 4- and 5-year-old mare, and even a 6-year-old mare. Just forget about all this. Like, she's just nowhere there yet. And, yeah, she's had 8 starts and won 2 races. And she'll only get better. I mean, 6 months' time, she'll be so much stronger.
You can feel the momentum in the stable at the moment?
Yeah, we're pretty happy. I mean, we've had Jeff in there, Jeff Penza, and he's been riding a lot of work. And, you know, we said to him, you know, we'll probably pretty much give you 25% of the rides thereabouts. You know, don't expect everything, and he's fine with that. And he's been getting a few rides, and we've been going well. I mean, we took one up to Taree last week and bolted in. You know, so we're going good. You know, who else did you mention?
I think they were the main ones.
Yeah, that's it. Jeanne Marie, she's been going good. She's been going good. She's just that midweek sort of level provincial mare. She's going good. And still, Alice was a really good win first start. We ran her on Saturday. It was probably a mistake bringing her back to 1,000. But no, to your point, we're happy, and you know, just got to keep it going.